Hey everyone, welcome back to the Rascal guide. In this episode I will be discussing essential ideas that are important for both new and old Rascal players. In today's episode I have divided it into 5 chapters that you will be able to find timestamp for in the description and on screen, as well as indicators on the scrub bar. Chapter 1: Scrap Cannon vs Shotgun Blast. I see a lot of people under the impression that the shotgun is the way to go. Now, I'm not too certain whether this is true or not, so I decided I'd go in my VIP server and test to see what is a better option in medium and short range situations against both players and buildings. So as you can see, I have my dummy account on the right hand side of the screen and my main account on the left. I've indicated where I'm going to be standing for short and medium range with these little sprays, and I will be shooting the dummy to do the damage, and you'll be able to see its health on the dummy's screen. We also have a Zadina to heal the dummy back up quickly. However, we do wait for the overheal to go away before shooting it, so don't worry about overheal interfering with our experiment. Of course, these distances are crude, as I've just eyeballed the distances. However, I've put them at a distance where I thought would be somewhat accurate as to a real game. To account for the knockback, we have put the dummy in a corner of a building so that when he is pushed he does not move, or if he does move it is so minimal that it would not affect the experiment. The shotgun blast's average does not change at close range. However, because of its spread at medium range it does have a difference. I did not include long range in this experiment because the scrap cannon would just be better, because of the fact that there's basically no way that all of your shotgun, what would they be called, bullets would connect. The only real use for shotgunning long range would be to pepper at somebody's health so then they don't regenerate. From the results of this experiment, I've found that it's probably better to use the scrap cannon than the shotgun. Of course, the shotgun can do more damage, however, it's not guaranteed, and it uses more ammo, so then the average ammo to damage is a lot worse. Of course, the two different modes of attacking are differently typed, I guess you could say, given that one is projectile based and the other is hit scan. But yeah, the shotgun blast will be easier to hit as it is a hit scan attack. However, the scrap cannon does have a higher potential. All you have to do is learn how to compensate for the delayed time, given that it has to travel to hit the enemy. So in summary, the scrap cannon is better than the shotgun blast. One extra tip is that by holding down mouse 1 you can automatically fire your scrap cannon as soon as its shot becomes available, the cooldown between shots runs out. This is because in the game any attack is kind of considered as an automatic, in that it will just constantly fire as long as you hold down mouse 1. And yes, this does include Sir Knight's sword and the sniper rifle. Chapter 2: Correct Chrome Dome Usage. Chrome Domes are quite useful defensive tools, giving your team regenerations and shielding them as long as they are inside its area of effect. It can also regenerate the health of turrets, launch pads, and other Rascal ultimates. One of the things you need to know about Chrome Domes is the shields go through walls. This can work towards your advantage or towards your downfall. Of course, you wouldn't want your shield to be poking through a wall if, let's say, your team doesn't have control of that area, and then the enemies can damage your shield without having to engage with your turret, which I'm assuming is inside your Chrome Dome. Might not be, otherwise without engaging with you, but it can also be used as a benefit to shield 2 areas that your team is controlling at once. Whenever you use your Chrome Dome, make sure that there is an alright distance between you and your enemy, as they can walk through the shield it's no use in using it as soon as they're in your like immediate range, as they can just walk straight through and then there will be nothing blocking the shots. Also, do not use your chrome dome on a turret that is hidden. This is because it will draw attention to said turret. The chrome dome is quite large and flashy, whereas the turret is a lot smaller, so where you could get away with hiding your turret, you might not be able to get away with hiding your chrome dome. One thing that newer Rascal players might not know, but older ones should know, is that you can protect your teammates from a cyborg ultimate by using the chrome dome. The ultimate from the cyborg just does no damage so long as you're standing inside of it. However, like for Ghost ultimate, for instance, it will still do damage. It's just cyborgs that it blocks. Chapter 3. Correct Launchpad Usage. Launchpads are very useful tools that can be used to give diagonal movement possibilities to your team. As such, there are many different ways that you can use this building to your advantage. The first and most simple way is to just put it down outside your spawn. This can cut some of the time short that it would take to otherwise transport heavier classes to the objective. A second way that you could use the launchpad is to get a turret into a higher spot that would be otherwise unreachable by a regular Rascal. Another way that you can use your launchpad would be to get a little bit of vertical movement that would cut some of the time short that it would normally take to get to a slightly elevated platform. This is useful in areas that you need to hold that have slight elevational differences. The final way that I would recommend using the launchpad would be to bait turrets. You can do this by putting down the launchpad in front of a turret before it is able to see you. The turret will target your launchpad first, having to deal 10 shots if it is a level 1 before it can start targeting you. This is enough time to destroy the turret before any major damage has happened to you. In saying that, you can just jump around the turret and avoid its shots, so you don't really need to use the launchpad to juke the turret, but it is something that you can do. Chapter 4. Turret Placement. There are many criteria that you will want to achieve while placing down your turret, of which some of the more notable criteria are not grouping turrets, important area coverage, keeping your turret hidden, staying clear of long sight lines, and high ground usage. I'll elaborate about these criteria and then give some examples of good and bad spots. The reason that you don't want to group up turrets is because it's easy for them to both be wiped out simultaneously, so long as, like, let's say a knight just walked up to the location. That's about it really. It's just a bit stupid to do. As for important area coverage, you want to make sure that it can cover an important area, whether this be a objective or a flank. Yeah, because like otherwise, what are you really defending? You're like, it's kind of just a waste of a spot, to be honest. Keeping your turret hidden is useful because it can do some damage before the enemies see it, or it can kill the entire enemy, given that they're a bit slow. But yeah, it's just kind of useful to have the element of surprise in any situation, and this also goes for turret placement as well. Make sure your turret isn't visible on any long sight lines. This is because it would be a shame for you to have a turret that just gets constantly attacked by a Reaper outranging it, or a Ghost for instance, and you can't really do much about it. So to prevent this, just put it in an area where there isn't any sightlines that it can get outranged in, and if there are, then you can cover that area. Having the high ground makes it harder for the enemies to retreat. Though this is not necessary, it does help in some situations. This turret is good because it matches all of the criterias of being not grouped up with other turrets. It covers an important area, being the little payload track. It's hidden by the building behind it. It stays clear of long sidelines, and it uses high ground because it is on a roof. This turret only meets the criteria of not being grouped and covering an important area. It is not hidden, it does not stay clear of long sight lines as it can be shot from the fallen tree log, and it does not use high ground because it is on the floor. So you should refrain from putting down your turret in spots like this. Now we are doing the part that would get me banned if this was a reason to die video, the glitches. Yeah, awesome. So I've used like my personal judgment to decide whether these glitches are too OP to be shown or not. So the ones that are too like OP, I haven't put in this video, but the ones that are like glitches that, you know, they're useful but then at the same time they're not OP as shit. Yeah, those are in this video. So yeah, okay, cool. So the first glitch that I'm going to be showing you guys is this Rascal Launchpad glitch where you kind of like do like a bee hopping night leap except with the Launchpad. And yeah, so it was discovered by Robux King, yeah, and they said Rascal's Launchpad extension is a very weird glitch which makes it hard to put into words. However, there has been some methods to get it to work consistently. The working method as of right now is to place a launchpad next to a wall of any sort to the point where the launchpad is 50% covered by a wall and 50% open. Once you have done that, proceed to turn the direction opposite of the jump pad direction and jump while holding A or D. There is some sort of unknown we don't know about or randomness about why it will send in the direction you're looking and not in the direction the launch pad is facing, but it's easy to autocorrect by turning around. This in turn will give you a launch much further than usual. In saying this, I did notice for me it had the exact same effect, except it did not require me to spin around, and instead it would launch me in the direction that my back was facing. Whereas for Robux, obviously they had to look where they wanted to fly. So, yeah, it might be some inconsistency through clients, or I could be just doing it incorrectly. I don't know. But yeah. This next glitch allows you to make flying turrets. The first thing you want to do is put down your ultimate, and then you want to get your launch pad so then you can get on top of your ultimate. For some reason it allows you to place your turret on the top of your ultimate, so once your ultimate expires you'll just have a flying turret. I mean, I've yet to find a use for this, but you know, you can do it. Alternatively, you can use poison, but it requires a teammate. I mean, if you're in a call, this will probably be more viable because you don't really want to waste the ult. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's all that I wanted to really talk about in this video. Hope you learned something, and yeah, goodbye. I guess I don't know how to end this to be honest, but yeah, whatever.